Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I came out here to Tesla to review the Model Y Juniper. Don't forget to look in the description below to figure out how you can get some great discount on some great Tesla accessories, and we'll be back in just a moment.
So, my name is Eugene. I'm one of the Tesla bikers here. I've been here for about 2 years. I was first in delivery, and then I went over to sales. So now we're just kind of going over the new Model Y that released about a week ago.
Here, hold on, let me pop the frunk. So over in the frunk, they have a drain hole, just like they do in a cybertruck, so that when you want to have your nice little tailgating party, you get to put the ice down here in the bottom, and there's a drain plug right here at the bottom, and it comes out just like that, which is pretty darn cool. This button right here, normally in the Cybertruck, this would be to close the front, but when you press this, nothing happens. If you figure out what that button is for, let me know. Please put it in the comments below. Even the headline here is made of a nice rubber to help seal the front. Only downside to this is just like with the Model 3. It's all manual. And it takes the two-handed push to close. If you notice, there's some screws that are holding this camera in. The camera is modular, which means it makes it very easy for Tesla to replace the front camera at the very least, which means they may have plans to upgrade this in the future. Like when they upgraded from HW3 to HW4, it's going to be a bit of a pain in the backside for them to do it. Now they're kind of future-proofing the cars now to say, okay, the upgrades are going to be a little bit easier down the line.
The headlights are down here.
Are they? Oh, wow.
There's no fog lights. Those are the headlights.
So yeah, these things have the matrix headlights, so they're able to shift and go around curves. In Europe, that's the way it is. I don't know if they've turned these on yet. Wow. Well, this is different. So they have the nice alloy wheels here, but they have a plastic cover on here on the hub. Gotta say, that's different. Some guys are gonna wind up customizing that really nicely. One of the things I want to point out is that the ambient lighting on the back of the vehicle, that red light actually shines down onto the ground, and you can actually see it at night while the car is in motion, which I think is really cool. The other thing is that you notice you see the letters Tesla on the back here. Well, that's the only badging on this vehicle that you know it's a Tesla. So they've really gone the minimalistic route like they did on the Cybertruck. And they decided not to brand it Tesla, except for the 5 letters on the back. You don't see a Tesla decal on the hood or anything else. The license plate is down low here. Where the lights are, that's where the license plate will go. And there's a spot for a tow hitch on the back, on the very bottom.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple of different things in the trunk. So you can actually get the seats to fold down from the actual trunk. These buttons here, they actually control the seats. So where we were able to fold them down before from a couple of different places, you press that button and the seats will go down. The seats won't go fully down with guys in the front seat because it has to move the seats forward slightly in order to get these seats completely down. And it's not going to move them while guys are in the front seat. So you can see one seat moved and it went forward. And so one went all the way down, the other one did not, because you had somebody in one seat, now that somebody is now in the other seat. So I'm going to bring them back up. Oh, it won't even come back up because it won't move the driver's seat forward. So if anyone is in the front seats, will determine if the seats fold down or not, which I think is rather interesting. Now, let's talk about let's talk about storage in the trunk here. We have this lid that we can lift up, and unlike in the previous models, we have this nice foldable shade up here. We got that. But now we have a nice deep trunk in here, down in both sides and down in the middle, which is actually really nice. Don't put any ice in this one. It won't work. But it has quite a bit of storage space back here. Eventually, this one's going to come in a 7-seat model, but the launch edition only has 5 seats. I don't personally like the 7-seat because, let's face it, the other 2 seats in the back, you're probably looking at putting infants and small kids back there. And well, if you know anything about infants and small kids, they tend to grow up. But you still have the car, and so it's going to be kind of useless at a certain point. But hey, if you need it, you need it. So you do what you have to do. If you look closely here, they've gotten rid of a lot of the plastic that is in the vehicle. This used to be all plastic in the last Model Y. This is now all fabric now. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this is all fabric. And the reason why it's all fabric, it deadens the sound significantly. So this is a much quieter vehicle than the former Model Y. And it's like that all over the vehicle. Now, the EPA range on this is about 320 miles, has a 78 kilowatt hour battery. Gives you good range and charges, I believe, 175 miles in 15 minutes. So it's actually a really good buy. It's a really great car, and I really think you're gonna like it. It's kind of like a Model 3 Highland, but bigger. They're also utilizing some of the technology from the Cybertruck, and Tesla has already said that the Cybertruck was a test bed for a lot of different and new technologies that they're going to start incorporating in a lot of their vehicles. And it's evident here in the Model Y. There's a lot of similarities between this and the Cybertruck, and starting with the windows that's double pane that keeps the sound in and keeps the cabin quiet. One major difference between the new Model Y Juniper and every other HW4 vehicle out there is that, you know what? We have a driving stalk now. So apparently, Elon thought that this was a family vehicle and everybody in the family should be able to drive the vehicle, but everybody else were not used to the buttons that would normally go right here on the steering wheel. And so they made it more family friendly. If that's how the logic works. I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's the logic that they're using for it. So they put in a driving stalk just to make people feel better. I personally prefer the buttons. I can't wait for this to go away on the other vehicles, but this is a family vehicle to make everybody feel better. So very light to the touch, but it is a driving stalk. The seats, front seats are heated and cooled. Rear seats are only heated. That's it. But everything else is pretty much like the Model 3. Same accent lighting, same dash for the most part. It feels like a Model 3 just sitting up a little bit higher. And once again, we have the fabric on the doors as well. This is not plastic here. Not plastic. Okay, so we're back in the car now. And this thing is pretty similar to the Model 3. What I mean is, this screen is similar to the Model 3, but there are a couple of differences which I'm actually noticing, quite frankly. One of the things that I think is fairly interesting up here on the dynamic screen, you still have the chill and sport, but look at this, you got deceleration. So now we get to reduce the amount of regenerative braking that we have in the vehicle. It's standard and reduced. I guess some people don't like regenerative braking for whatever reason. And so you have a way of turning it down now. So it has a slightly different mode for that. Also, you have traction control mode, which seems to be a slight amalgamation of what's in the Cybertruck and what's in the Model 3. You have slippery surface and off-road assist, which, if we have off-road assist, now it says used to optimize traction control performance off-road, may help free vehicles stuck in snow, sand, or mud. And slippery surface, we all know what that one is. It's pretty standard on most of the Teslas. Off-road assist, that's a new one. I guess that's for if you get stuck in the mud. Under the seats, right? We can actually fold the seats from the front seat, which is interesting. If I hit this one, okay. My seat actually goes forward just a little bit. And I can also unfold it. Unfold. Yes, I know. So I notice my seat goes a little bit forward so it avoids the headrest as the rear seat is reclining and as it goes down, which I think is pretty interesting. Pretty nice. Yeah, this vehicle is a little bit quieter than the previous Model Y. You have a lot of the soundproof glass. You have a lot of the material in here, which is what I'm noticing. You got a lot of cloth all the way around the vehicle, which is actually deadening the sound quite a bit. Now, another major difference is that just like the HW4s, we have the nice screen back here in the back. This is it's a lot like the Model 3 in performance. Well, the Model 3 Highland version, it's effectively identical. Tesla has really learned their lessons from the previous vehicles, and they've incorporated the best parts of all of those vehicles into this one, looks like. So yeah, you still get the rear screen. Once again, we can do the seat thing from the back, just like in the previous updates. We can now move. Oops. Oh, this is a feature, hold on. This is a feature that I think is really cool. So when you press these buttons here, get up here. What's going to happen is, watch my seat. It's going to actually, it comes up and it actually goes up and it actually reclines. So you can actually recline the back seat, which is actually really cool, which is pretty nice. I mean, how many cars recline in the back seat? Only a few of them that I'm aware of. You can also go back down and you can move the front seat forward from back here. This was in the update for a lot of the Tesla vehicles. I think it came out about a month or two ago. But you can move the front seat back and forth all the way from the back. If I was not in the seat, I could remotely fold the seats just like I did before from that screen as well. Other than that, you have the usual suspects down here on the screen for both your YouTube and you got the video games back here, which you can play, which everybody hollered for that update. Which I think is really cool. So yeah, back seat gets an A+. The glass is double paned.
Okay.
And so it offers more deadening of the sound than normal. And that double pane glass is just like the Cybertruck. So this is the previous Model Y. And you can see here in the back, this is all, that's all hard plastic. I've always had a problem with the Model Y, the original one, because it was very noisy. It didn't ride very well. There were things with the suspension that I just did not like. That's why I never bought a Model Y. The Juniper improves on this greatly. It has much better suspension. It has much better soundproofing. Here you're in the trunk. They have the under trunk storage here, just like before, but you notice you don't have your notches to put anything. It's a little bit more basic. They also had the foldable seats in the old one too. But look how they were fast, but the front seats didn't move. And guess what? I got to manually throw them back up again.
At first glance, as you guys can see, the front of the cars are different, right? You have like more of a narrow headlight system here, as opposed to that one over there. In the back, I know you guys were already walking around, so you guys saw the back. It's a lot different, right? Now, for a specific amount of time, we're going to be launching these as launch series. So that means like first come, first serve kind of thing. And then after that, I think it'll just be like a regular one. I'm not too sure 100%, right? But in the back, you got the badge for the launch, and then on the little box right here, where the door opens, you got the badge for the launch as well. The other thing is that the interior comes with an interior lighting. The other one does not. And then you get a screen in the back. This launch series, they're going to be all-wheel drives, and their mileage for 100 charge is 320, as opposed to if we had for the other one, which was 310. So just an increase in 10, right? But you guys are going to be getting heated and visual seats. The other Model Y only have heated seats, so that's another addition to it. And then in terms of the hardware, for the premium connectivity, you guys are going to get second generation hardware as opposed to first generation. So there's already upgrade in the hardware as well. Other things, as far as the pricing for these go, we're doing pre-orders, but we're not going to be delivering them until March. And then they come out at a flat rate of $60,000, but any change to the wheels, the interior, or the exterior is free, right? And then you also get FSD with the vehicle, and then you get a charge with the back of the trunk. Anybody have any questions?
The headlights don't steer.
They do not.
I do, yeah, one.
Is there anything that y'all don't like about it?
I was just going to ask, so it can utilize the 325 watt chargers? 325 kilowatt chargers? Charge at a rate of 325 kilowatts opposed to the 250 max?
I'm not quite sure. I know the max supercharger and it says it's rated for is 250. So I'm not sure that you would use that higher clip watch on it. But it's the first time somebody asked me that question.
Well, thanks for joining us. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as I said before, we do have some great discounts on some great Tesla accessories in the description below. Let me know what you think, and if you're going to get a Model Y. Until next time, we'll talk to you again soon. Peace.